Hey guys, welcome to the YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about 5 best career tips, 5 best pieces of career advice that I had in my career, probably fairly sort of early on, and then also at the later stage as I was transitioning into a slightly different style of work. So I just thought I'd share those with you, thought they might be useful, thought you might be able to get something out of it, okay? So let's get straight into it. The first one was advice that I had when I was 16, because I was about to go in to do A-levels, and that advice was to keep your qualifications quite broad. Now here in the UK, which I know is very different to the US, we narrow down, so we start to niche down quite early with our A-levels. So typically, you know, 3, 4 A-levels you might be selecting. And I knew that I wanted to go into accountancy. Yeah, a little bit boring, but I did. I knew I wanted to go into accountancy, and so I was going to do an A-levels in accounting, business, basically everything geared towards accounting. And the best piece of advice I had at the time, which actually came from the college, was to actually keep it broad, you know, because when they looked at what I was saying I wanted to do, which was accounting, so unlike something like the medical profession, say, but if what you want to do is actually doesn't require you to have those specialist qualifications, just keep it broad, because what you're actually doing is you're keeping your options open and you're not specializing before you have to, particularly if you're quite young and you're still making your mind up. So that's the first tip. Keep your qualifications broad for as long as possible. The second tip really is to train with a blue chip or a well-established corporate if you can. Now, this one's a little bit controversial, and to be honest, although this is what I did, because I trained and qualified with EY, the accountants, but you know what, if I had my time again, and I kind of say I have no regrets, but I know I would have liked to have gotten into the world of startups and entrepreneurship a lot earlier in life. But I do think if you can train with a blue chip or, you know, a large corporate, you can actually get some really good experience just in terms of professionalism, how to do business, how to kind of like run an office, how to manage things, how to work with other people, develop team skills, etc., how to organize yourself. So that's one of my other tips really. And certainly when I was at EY, certainly in the first couple of years, there were times when I just wanted to jack it all in. I wasn't enjoying it and I just thought I'm gonna leave, but I kind of stuck at it, and I'm really pleased that I kind of stayed there and got my qualification there in that blue chip environment, because it kind of then does open doors in terms of your CV. So that would be my other piece of advice. I'm not sure how relevant it is today, if I'm being completely honest, but certainly it's something that worked for me kind of like 20 odd years ago. The third one I've got in terms of the third tip, now this was for me much later on in life when I was making the transition from being a full-time employee to a contractor and an interim, so moving into more of the interim space where you sort of take on short-term contracts for various clients. And that was to revamp and reposition your CV. Now, you notice that what I said is it was at a period of my life when I was in transition, so transitioning my roles and the type of work that I was doing. So I think when you're looking to do that, so maybe you have come out of, so say college, uni, and you've kind of got, you know, lots of like retail jobs or whatever it be, you know, bar work, waitressing, whatever it be, and you're then looking to then get, you know, your first grad job or entry-level job, I would just kind of say, just tweak, refine, revamp, however you want to sort of, you know, whichever words you want to use, to reposition your CV, to pull out the skills that are more relevant, and make your CV work then for the roles that you're trying to get. Now, I'm not saying be dishonest, you know, you don't have to lie at all about what's on your CV, but you have to pull out the skills and the experience that are relevant for the roles you're trying to get. So that's my third piece of advice. Now how to revamp and reposition your CV for the roles you're trying to get. The fourth one is to overhaul your LinkedIn profile. Now, I've done a video about LinkedIn profile separately, so I'm not going to go into that in detail, but what I'm saying is, certainly if you want to get a role in the corporate space, you've got to have a decent LinkedIn profile. So I would absolutely say, you know, revamp that profile, you know, make sure that it looks good, make sure that you've got the good headshot, etc. Check out the video if you want to. I'll see if I can remember to put a link here to the video that I've done specifically about LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn is your CV that never sleeps, so you want it looking good. So that's my fourth piece of advice. And my fifth and final piece of advice in terms of best career advice is knowing your worth. And when I say that, I'm talking about things like understanding the level of role that you are experienced to do, and also you know, the salary and the reward and the benefits that should come with that. Now, earlier on in my career, I certainly know that I went into jobs where I wasn't paid kind of as much as the next person was, and really I should have been. So there was a little bit of kind of game playing and all kinds of things going on. I was very, very early in my career, but I soon learned, and I kind of then learned how to negotiate, you know, kind of like around pay and terms and conditions. But I would say I think it starts from knowing your worth, you know, really doing that research, whether it be talking to recruiters or talking to other people in the industry that you can trust, other mentors, etc. Just understand what you're worth, and don't undersell yourself in terms of whether that be the roles that you take, the roles that you go for, or also, you know, the salary and reward that you kind of like agree and negotiate. I would just say know your worth. So that's it. That's my 5 kind of just things that I wanted to share in terms of the best career advice I've ever had. Hope you found that useful. If you did, give it a thumbs up, please. If you like what you've seen, subscribe. There will be more of this. Career advice for people that maybe don't like their jobs. If you want to know when the next video is out, press the little notification bell, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.